And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Songs of Six. We are trying to very rapidly grow the city up to 8,000. We're almost there with just being about 300 short. Although I noticed that I was growing the city a little bit without growing the housing in the meantime, so we gotta get some of the housing done. I also probably want to be expanding metal and smithing production. Still good on metal, but that'll help a little bit more. Yeah, that helps a little bit more. We're actually pretty terrible on tools at the moment. And the tools from our last tool trade are arriving. Although we do still have a pretty large deficit, so we want that fixed. I can have like 30-something people moving. I'm going to be moving slightly larger leaps and bounds than that. And then tech-wise, I do still have a bunch of innovation to hand out. I could add tools to the furniture industry. Sounds like a way to run out of even more furniture, even more tools. A little bit tempting to try to go that way and get more efficacy on the paper makers. But that's more tools. Making enough metal right now. Yeah, we need to get the tool. I probably want to use tools in the toolmaker. More tools in the toolmaker to make the toolmaker better at making tools. And to do that, I need the toolmaker industry to expand by at least 30 people. Which it should do as soon as the next smithy is done. A fish positive. Technically meat negative, although again, we got some more of those coming online. And the bolty crawlers in theory make like 200 each. Well, bigger ones too. These smaller custom-made ones in the interior here might not be that size. Won't be a little bit custom-made one in that one if it's in that hole. Okay. Gotta change the mode, okay. Yeah, something like that, start. That's not like too bad. And then I'll need a door for the gate to cut into, and adequate hutting. On construction. Oop. Master of Masonry has passed away. We can just hit replace. If I want to change the nobles out, the way to do it is actually, in my case, because I don't need to change their race, I just need to change their job. I'll have a punch out to get out here. Again, that'll be more food once that's done. Yeah, probably have too many jobs for the odd jobbers to work on at the moment, so I need to actually give them some time to build things. Could do some improvements with furniture making. Yeah, take those 6 ones. Well, yeah, in theory, that's probably worth doing. We do the carpet upgrade. Maybe not going to move to the tools because we've got a tool shortage at the moment. Yes, one of those was technically spear making, but English for spears is not going to be a problem. Out of stockpiled metal, so I should trade for more metal. Assuming I'm still producing the upkeep. Although that's still maybe an answer to go trade for more metal. It just means I need to expand the smithies, or the metal smelters as well. Resources demand. Metal. Can I get like 2,000 metal? Yeah. Got another one of those being built. I just apparently don't have the patience. I'm just like, next industry, make it big. Existing industry, make it better. Okay, one way to improve housing, which is why I wanted to sort out more furniture, is I can upgrade the existing housing instead of building more housing. Instead of making the city sprawl more, I can make the housing that already is here bigger. For example, up here in the city center, where I definitely have no space for more housing, we can just in fact maximize the housing density. That definitely helped with housing in the city center. Building more down here. Could use more over here, although I think I've maxed these ones already. Now that's the new block that can be maxed. You want better access to housing. I suppose I can expand our housing. Again, improve the housing density instead of building more housing. It's too hard to do. Get those ones. Yeah, that's helping to deal with the housing problems. Much closer to not having housing problems. Still kind of have them down here, although... Well, actually, that's the housing district being built. Although I could put more in down here. And building houses unupgraded is cheaper than building expanded, so... Furnish is still positive, cut stone's still positive, paper is what it is. Need more metal, but we are building another smelter. Need more tools, but we are building another tool maker. Although, questioning whether or not another tool maker is going to be enough. I might need another tool maker. Get another tool maker. Another 100 in. Let's provide more odd jobbers, which is good because apparently I need more odd jobbers. I might do if we go out to the neighbors. They do have slaves, right? No humans, though. No humans there. They take another 100 human slaves if I can get it. Give them the money for it. Get rid of one of those walls so these guys can get in and out of the building to look at their way to the proper side. Don't want them trapped too long in the way they're building it. It's going to make them trapped for quite a while. There we go. Now the person can stop starving. Go to food area and eat. There we go. Grabbing some more humans to help work the labs and the libraries. The humans do it better than the Garthimi, by a long shot. I think it's what? I think like 3 Garthimi is worth like 2 humans. Take that 50 that's sitting there waiting for us. more odd jobbers. Getting the 100 slaves in when they arrive will again be more odd jobbers. Oh, I'm not getting enough wood from taxes. Let's go around to our regions, see which one of our regions is good at making wood that we're not extracting wood from yet. I know there were a couple. Yeah, you're decent at it. I'm going to take you to max wood cutting production. Make another 4,000 wood that way per day. Yeah, it should goes back at positive for the wood, yeah. This is how I get away with making carpentry, or making wood-based products on a map with no actual forests. Tourist returns. Your guards present you with several people that have caused a small fight near one of your markets. One party recently returned Garthimi tourist, sent by a human lord to capture the serial killer called the Hungry Hunter, who killed and ate about a dozen people. Some of them city officials scattered their half-eaten remains over the city. Your subject is a bit surprised about this, mentioning that it just wanted to help out by getting rid of some of the more corrupt elements of human hive. Half-eaten bodies were intended as a meal for whoever found them. Do you want to hand it over? What does the person refuse? Slave them. Well, we're evil. We're gonna enslave them. The refusal does not surprise the guards, and they try to leave immediately without arguing about it. They did not make it far before getting captured and enslaved. Diplomatic consequences of this should be minimal, because most citizens know what to expect when they hail out Garthimi tourists. Some nobles even invite Garthimi to the domains to get rid of their rivals. Garthimi subjects love the story of one of their own visiting someone as exotic as the human city. I assume this was enslaving the Garthimi that caused the problem, not the humans. But okay, we just enslaved 4 humans for showing up to say that our Garthimi ate someone. Visiting something exotic as a human city and even helping them solve local problems. Okay, so pissed off some other factions. Our people are very happy, and we have 4 new human slaves. Oh, that's temporary. That's only 8 days. The humans aren't, presumably. I think humans live for a little more than 8 days in this game. So we're getting complaints here. Low paper is fine, but second complaints I'm seeing that we've got a shortage of machines on some of the parts nearby. Stone as well. Wood as well, so I'll probably set up a hauler to make sure the stone, wood, and machinery here. For the mason to maintain, or for the janitor here to maintain it. Although the machinery doesn't surprise me, because the machinery is pretty new. There's only one warehouse in the whole location that holds it. That should help the janitor do its job, because then they only have to go across the street to grab the things they're missing. You having any problems? No. You have any problems? Yes, you're having machinery as well. Looks to mostly be machinery that's your problem. Yeah, there's a couple other things it's not getting, but it maybe doesn't need the other things. Whereas the machinery it needs for the well nearby. Probably do some iron as well. Another 50 in. We're having a little bit of issue with gems for you. Okay, so you're going to want gems. So, taking the time here while we're waiting for things to build, to just do a once-over on the janitors, make sure the janitors have what they need. Usually, if I make it a different part of the city, the way I solve them is just put a hauler next to the janitor. Janitors don't need a lot of stuff, so a small hauler is usually enough to get them what they need. You just need gems. Come from that warehouse. Okay. You might want gems as well. Yeah, you help with maintain that library there, so you want some gems as well. Quarter built. 75% built. Just got one more build order there. One more construction order there, and we can set it up properly. So this place can get its gems brought over. You're missing a lot of stuff. You do need the cut stone, definitely. Looks like it's mostly a cut stone deficit. A little bit of machinery. And you've got no fabric, but I think well, no, there's a little bit of fabric used up here. That might overlap with that one. Yeah, it looks like fabric, machinery, and mechanics. Want machinery. So let's just grab 3 haulers. Oh, I suppose we've already got some of them already over here. Okay. Must be really out of position for that circumstance then. Oh, and we're already out of tools again. Okay, I'm gonna have to go reach out to the neighbor. Hey neighbor, can you send me another 4K tools? Okay, so you're gonna want cloth. That'll work. Cloth spot. And cut stone. Should work for cut stone spot. And then mechanisms. Go. You're looking good except for jewelry. I'm not sure you really need the jewelry. looking around for places that it would be doing maintenance-wise jewelry, because it would be showing up as a error by now if I needed repair if I needed it. So yeah, you have no jewelry, but that's just fine. Yeah, you need metal. You've got a well nearby, so you're gonna need machinery as well. Yeah, metal and machinery. Oh, and you're already getting cut stone. Last time around, I was already fixed some of the problems. Okay. Yeah, we're still waiting for those to be carved out. Need to be semi-patient. So you want to go grab metal. That's probably a better place to grab it. Okay. And then we want to grab the machinery. We're not actually metal positive. Although we got a smelter being made. Although we'll have to double check obviously when the tools are done, because that's going to eat more metal as well. Okay, you're kind of complaining about machinery, so I should get some machinery over here. The tools that you're complaining about are probably more to do with the fact we just don't have tools. Yeah, you're getting machinery, so that's not too bad. That one's not too bad. That's not too bad. So it's just number 4 here that I got machinery sorted for. And then that's so it can maintain the well just across the street. We did get the population up to 8,000. 100% loyalty, 100% submission, 16 more noble promotions, 50 more innovation, 50 more knowledge. Notably, that means I can go to nobles, find, let's say, 2 of my governor nobles, and just be like, you get promoted. And you get promoted. Keep 2 promotions, otherwise do all those promotions. That provides us with 640 more government points. I'm going to celebrate those new government points by asking one of the neighbors, one of the smaller neighbors, maybe 2 of the smaller neighbors. Yeah, these 2. Would you like to become one with us? So you're 10 mil. You're 17 mil. You're probably even worse. 34 mil. Take the 10 mil. And that nation's gone, and now part of us. We're going to disassemble most of their existing infrastructure, because it's probably not what we're going to use. And then we are evil Garthimi. So our current population of Garthimi in this place is 0. So the 3,000 people here are going to die or leave. Stable population here is just over 1,000. Apparently just over 1,000, but we're going to add in a humidifier, which is going to make it even bigger. I don't want to upgrade the level of the village here until everyone's moved out and Garthimi moved back in. Where's my army? There's my army. Can you march over and keep that place happy? Okay, this is Connix. This is the other person I was thinking about buying out. Demand from Dominion Connix, yeah. Okay. We're gonna deal with your demand in a different way. Here's 17 million to stop being an independent country. And there we go. So we've got 216 Garthimi in the city, so yeah, again, another one where we're just not going to upgrade the city more than that until the rest of the population moved out and the Garthimi moved in. And then now that makes the response to this demand no longer important. We're obviously not giving them territory. And there we go. So we got the Great for having 8,000 people and a minimum level of, I think it was either happiness or loyalty for that one. And the Unifier, which I think is the same plus have unified with 4 nations. I think that actually just took us up to 5. The libraries upgraded the libraries, or the laboratories were upgraded. Need the metal smelter done. Need the smithies done. And we've got one of the Baltic crawlers done. We're working on the next one over there, working on one over here. Oh, this one's pretty close to done. There we go. Just needs a bunch of wood. You know, I'll work with it there. That shouldn't be too bad. I'm gonna do one thing, which is I'm gonna disable one of those walls being built. That way they don't actually, they're carving it from that side, they don't screw themselves up. That's getting built out, which will provide us with more meat. We definitely could produce a little more meat. Yeah, on the world map, got all that governing points. These places need a little bit of time to grow and fix themselves. Oh, there's probably some other places I can grow regardless. Any, you're the other one I'm thinking of unifying with, but that's expensive. That's billions. We're still in the millions. That's millions. Billions. Yeah, so. I suppose expensive is maybe not a thing that would stop us necessarily. Although these guys are probably small if we just conquer them. Well, their army, I think, has gotten bigger. Probably not big enough to actually stop our army. So you probably don't want to get any bigger. What's your humidity looking like? Below 50, so we probably don't want to make you bigger. I could probably be made bigger if I wanted to. Or moisture. The ones that are at 2.4k, deck size is 4.8, so I have to double the size of the city. And then you're the one I'm going to want to get to, at least, you're probably the one I most likely want to get to the 9,200 for the next size, for Metropolis size. But yeah, I've got more space. If we click that, that's actually more than you need. Although that's less than you need. So I need to do that for the population, which means I need to then do health. Because you're so big that the realm health isn't enough to offset you. Okay, so we do like 11k there, we can do that. I'll even leave some leftover space if I need it for a different industry. Not enough moisture there. Or probably not. Yeah, I think... What is your moisture specifically? It's over 90 plus. Let's look under 90 plus places first, before I get carried away to the older, the smaller places. $80, $98, reasonable size. Actually, you can already go up to 5. And we're actually not sure. Although this is probably a good place to get con from. We do have one other place outputting con. We can probably swap that over to this one. So, you're making cotton. You're actually pretty bad at making cotton. So let's... This place over here is like perfect cotton place. So let's make you a full maxed out cotton place. And swap you off of cotton. And then you're a pretty good place. Get the next size up on you. And then, yeah, I think I can do the full 1,000 or so population combo. Get up to the max size. If we need to import more clay or stone, this is a good place for that. It's also good for fruit. In the moment, we'll leave it on some sort of raw taxes. Yeah, that's another one that's going to be good for that. Yeah, even better for stone and clay. Yeah, that's perfect. No, that one's got a poor area, so not that one. That one's got pretty good moisture, so that's a good target for super cities. Your moisture is actually perfect. Well, you don't have perfect area, but you've got close to the perfect area. You might as well just have it from moisture. Yeah. Some of these obviously are going to take quite a bit, so let's get these grown, and then we'll see where we are. Because to get to the final size, I need a realm population of 100,000. Each of these places we're growing to make metropolises. Oh, there needs to be... What? It's... Oh, and I needed 4 royal academies. We've got the royal academies for that, so that's nice. But yeah, so each of these are going to be over 10,000. So 10,000 times... What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? So that's actually going to be 50,000 right there. We might have enough once those are all up to size. I think there's a title. Yeah, we'll just replace them with a different nobody. I think there's a title for having a certain number of like, metropolitan or something like that. The Builder. 3 or more metropolises. Is still shrinking. Vernick is, I think, approaching the point where it's going to start growing. And the nice thing about Garthimi is once you get a decent population of them, they do grow real fast. It's 4.2k for the next size. I'll level you up if I wanted more workforce, but I'm not actually sure what we want there. At the moment, I need size more than I actually need the level of the main building. Yep. Level these places up to metropolises. Get my metropolitan centers. Enough for you. 4.8, not 4.2. Gotta give them a little bit more time. And we're pretty happy on... Oh, because I brought 100 humans in. The humans are just more effective than the Garthimi that they're replacing in those industries. It's fair enough. Yeah, if I wanted another big population surge, it's elderly care next. We're still waiting for stuff to build in the city, so back on the world map. I could squeeze even more in here by building up the hygiene level. But we'll wait off until we can see how off target I am, realm-wise. Because yeah, I can go up to hygiene 4 until I get Metropolis, and then I can go up to 5. Although, once I can do 5, arguably, in the city, because the city's got other stuff it's doing, I probably don't want to do 5. Because I need 9.2 locally and 100,000 realm-wide. Okay, you're ready for promotion. Next tier that provides a bunch of workforce. Again, I don't know what we're doing with that workforce, so it's just turning into raw money. And same here, we can promote you. Just see. Oh, yeah, I'm at the point where I actually need to back off. Because otherwise I'm not going to be able to afford the metropolises anywhere. I need 100 government points for the next metropolis. So I need the population to get big enough. Yeah, I think it's time. We're not. Everyone that is not on meat is going to become governor. And lower the productivity of a few different industries. Yeah, that is everyone except for the bully crawlers. It gets me, what, it's like 60 more? That was barely an improvement. Yeah, I should probably just reach out and get one of the territories to ship in food. I don't think any place we have is actually good at Boulder Crawler. Although it may or may not actually matter at all. Boulder Crawler here looks terrible, but we got a 3x multiplier from being Garthimi. So, or, well, making everyone in the city speak Garthimi. Just do a full thing of Boulder Crawler here. It's 900 meat a day. Do full fish and full Boulder Crawler here. And that solves, in theory, the meat problem. Probably enough I can take the noble off as well. The crawlers, but my governor. Okay, almost got you done. Almost got you done. Okay, now we get more meat and fish from taxes. Okay. Out on the world map, how goes the growth? Again, we're trying to get large enough that you can do that, so I need 16,000 more. So there's 3, 6, 9... say that's 12, 15... yeah, we're about in the ballpark. And you're growing... in fact, we should probably take you up to 3 at least. Okay, there's another... okay, so I think we'll hit the number. I just gotta get all the cities growing, or grown to the current size targets. I could just pay this ransom. Lilia, the Asuri of Death. How scary are they? Probably reasonably scary. 318 soldiers. We probably just tell them we're not paying. Yeah, we're not paying them. So if you don't want bandits running through your territory, you do what you want to do to them. Okay, and we're finally starting the final construction phase. Well, that was basically the final construction phase of the metal smelter there. See if we're still metal positive once that, or back to metal positive when that's done. Doesn't, well, should be, although we might not be after the the smithies are done. That was everything delivered to the metal smelter. Didn't pay our neighbor, they have now allowed free passage. Okay, so raiders are on their way. I think the city garrison of 2,000 can handle them. We do outnumber them by a large number. Although it's mostly going to be reliant on fear from the weight of numbers descending upon the enemy rather than any real equipment or training advantage. We do have a archer, so until we are engaged... Oh, and they've got mounted guys. Until we're about to engage the archer, we should be in loose formation. Minimize the damage we take. And you can move the whole formation using the arrow keys, which is what I'm doing here. Flanks compromised. Their formation's intact because they're archers and they don't break formation necessarily when engaged. But hopefully their morale breaks. We've got the enemy surrounded with weight of number. Now it comes down to which side has the morale. The surrounded or the surroundee. The clashes like this, where it's actually easier to tell how a situation is going by looking at the minimap, because our little dots are blue and their little dots are red, and or by looking at the troop count rather than looking at the individual guys. Our guys are not that well. We can tell the difference between our guys and the archers, but most of our guys are not that different looking. One of the melees down here breaking. That's caused the archers to rout. There it goes. 318 Bents defeated for the cost of 150 of the garrison. We'll go and accept the prisoners this time. I'm actually doing the training down on the... Oh, I set it very high, but back to normal. So we can replenish the casualties easier. Raider defeated. The once mighty Lilia. The Asturia of Death lies dead at your feet, O mighty one. Now goes getting the 100,000. We're there. We have a metropolis. And and make that too. I'm now tempted to try to downgrade someplace else so I can get a third. Yeah, let's kick you back down to level 4. I don't need your... Oh, no, never mind. You have to stay at 5. I don't need you at 6. Be at 5. There we go. That lets us have the Metropolis. So I think we need for the title was the 3, right? The Builder, yeah. So if we let it run long enough, we'll get our title for the Builder. And we're going to decline that. I know he's big enough I can't bribe him to becoming one with us. There we go. So, build a bunch of fancy buildings on the world map, and we've earned ourselves the Builder. We don't have high enough prowess to pick up the Conqueror. Have more food days around. I think about what titles I want to get here on this run before we bring this run to a close. I haven't assassinated anyone. Probably don't intend on assassinating anyone, but I don't think we're going to be running 3,000 slaves in here. We'll save that for the next patch. They're changing the slavery mechanics in the next patch, so... Oh, might splurge and get a second temple for Max Sierra the Guards out. Kings. Pleasure, we did Merciless. Reputation's not that bad. The ones we're going to pick up, I think we've basically picked up all the titles. Let's pop out of those metropolises. I've got you bringing in meat. Can you bring in fish with your massive workforce? Yeah. And then both fish, meat, and even I think the cotton are under irrigation. Yeah. Improve it by irrigation. Add irrigation there as well for a buff to your output. Oh, and these regions obviously are important, so I should, fortify them. Yeah, they provide a lot of workforce. So we just show off by getting fish and multi-crawlers there. 40,000 meat a day, 20... Or not 40. 4,000 meat a day, 2,500 fish a day. So that should solve the food problems. Food days up a little bit. To be fair, those cities are apparently bigger than this city. There we go, metal smelter's done. Problems with corpses again. Is there a particular portion of the city that just has too many dead people? Yeah, that's probably what's going on. A particular portion of the city having too many dead people. Not the whole city, just a particular portion. Yeah, just the city. There's too many dead people in the city center. We'll end your upgrade. So we upgrade you, so you make even more metal. There we go, making like 50 metal a day. The pottery could be used some improvement. Yeah, the solution to the pottery is I'm at the point where I just need to actually build the second pottery maker. I've left that space there the entire time for a second potter, and I finally got around to building it. Because we only just needed it now. Most recent scale. Because we could always do it with more paper. Always could do with more paper. Finisher's happy. Fabric could be better. Surprised fabric is full given the fact that fiber could be better. Yeah, let's take the upgrades. It's just innovation. Where does that put us on fabric? That puts us positive on the fabric. Okay. So good, 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 good. It could probably do with more paper, but it could always do with more paper. There's always more demand for paper. Yeah, don't have enough to go for that one. That's assuming we've got the tools, which I kind of tool production, which I don't have right now. I should stop adding more things to the tool demand. Yeah, I should stop adding more things to the tool demand for the moment. But yeah, I think we're in the realm of more paper just feeds into the administration here. Yeah, your bureaucrats are only working 58% of the time because they don't have enough paper. So, more paper just means the bureaucrats work more. Fill in more paper. Do with more rations as well. And if doing more rations, I should do more bakeries. Bakery levels, so 7 levels in the bakery. We take the 6 on the ration maker. And that kicks in, drops that, deficit by 50. That's a good step in the right direction. Although we have a bread deficit as well. Probably means I want to go up and bread one, take the baking revolution. Let's double check to make sure that's tools. Metal. Okay, we can do that. Then on the ration makers, are those running at full productivity? No, they were waiting on bread because the bakers weren't keeping up. So we'll give them a little while for the bakers to catch up a bit before we do anything to the ration makers. I need more metal. Round and round the merry-go-round. Fix one problem, invent a different one. Metal smelter. There's a lot of levels of that. Okay. I mean, we're not big enough to do that one, but that's 100 to 89. Although, if we were big enough for that, we would be apparently very ready for that. Yeah. Okay, back up into the 40s. That's good for metal. Do have a smithy up there going. Okay. Now we're still negative on tools. I think it's time for another library. Or not library, another laboratory. Get some more innovation. It might be time for another library as well. I'm just going to bite the bullet. I know I'm going to want elder care at some point. And grooming at some point. So we'll grab those. Still technically got 75 more. Well, at this point we're looking at probably like maintenance or spoilage or logistics or something. Something a bit more incremental. Or work safety. Try to keep our guys dying on the job a little bit less. Okay, looking at the time, I think we're going to go ahead and put a part break in here. We're up over an hour, which means I've actually gone on a little bit too long. I have hit the 8K target that I wanted to get for the stream. And the reason is because there's a decent possibility that this is the last stream we run this city. At this point, I don't think we're going to be playing the city long enough to get up to 12K, which is a little bit of a shame. I think this is a city that definitely could get to 12K and get Astra and Invicti over here. But we're going to just have to make do with Astra. There's also no titles for getting Astra Invicti, so it's just the highest title level. I suppose if I needed more government points to have the metropolises for Builder, we'd have to go to Astra Invicti, because that's the last 20 noble promotions. I think for anyone who isn't Garthimi, you might need to go that big to rule an empire this large. The Garthimi, because the humidifiers are so strong, can get away with a fewer governor promotions. Because they don't have to run as wide to make the few very select cities that big. But yeah, I dread to think how hard it is to get big 10K cities like this if you're not the Garthimi, right? Because we're losing 2% of potential population growth here due to moisture. And we've only got 28 more region capacity. Okay, so yeah, this would be a city that you could do without the humidifier. You just have to run the full health building line. Fair enough. So this is a place where you can go up to max size without being Garthimi. The Garthimi are definitely, because of how humidifiers work, they definitely work better with weaker cities, with drier cities, than anyone else. Because the big thing the humidifiers got going for you is it's very workforce efficient. It's 15 workforce for 20 region capacity. Like that's real good. Max size growth building is 1-to-1. The max size hygiene building is worse. It's like 3-to-1 for region capacity. So it's really hard to make really big cities in dry places, unless you're the Garthimi, and then you can make moderately sized ones pretty much anywhere. because the Garthimi can run all three of the larger growth buildings, right? They can run the humidifier, the growth building, the healthcare building, no problems there. Everyone else doesn't have a humidifier equivalent. I don't know if that's going to change at some point in the future, but without a humidifier equivalent, the Garthimi are definitely the best at sort of swarming the map than everyone else. Yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, we're going to have another part up tomorrow. I think we're going to record 2 more parts. If you are watching this live on YouTube, I suppose, the next patch is out. That's why we're actually going to stop, I think, in two parts. The city's going to be effectively done in 2 hours. Going to go out a little bit more, see if we can sort of balance the economy just that little bit more. Maybe try to pick up the divine one, which is get enough temple coverage. Was it the divine? Seer of the Gods. See if we can get Seer of the Gods on here. We did get it as the Amivians before, so get that bonus to be a little bit better for the next run. It wouldn't be too hard, I think, to get that done. But yeah, I'm going to try to see if we can get everything positive in the city here before we bring this run to a close, and that way we can sort of leave it on a high note. So yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, there'll be another part of tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around, although this will be the longer of the 3 breaks during the stream. It is time for me to make a new cup of tea. So until next time, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part and or stream, and bye for now.